Hey, everybody. It is the new era of SasqWatchers. And tonight we have an awesome guest, and I'm going to let you guys get to know him a little better after the intro.
Woo! Drew and John on the airwaves, seeking mysteries that can't be explained. SasqWatchers chasing shadows in the night. In the realm of the paranormal they ignite. SasqWatchers podcast pioneers, unveiling the unknown with curious ears. From specters to Bigfoot, they dig deep. SasqWatchers on a quest that's unique.
That's objectively terrible.
And that was the goal. But anyway, we are here tonight with Bill Rigby of the Agents of the Unexplained. And I'm pretty stoked to talk to him because he's another Pennsylvania researcher, and I always have a soft spot for that. So, how are you doing tonight, Bill?
I'm doing great, but woo, the Ric Flair of Sasquatch, and I see we're out there now.
Trademarked until Rick starts giving me the cease and desist.
It's
or
coming.
the Flair chop, one or the other.
Make it both.
Yeah, but no, seriously, I'm doing good. Yeah, like you said, I got the Agents of the Unexplained. We are a paranormal encrypted research group. Got my own Facebook page, got my own podcast, and yes, we do get out there and research all the mysteries of this crazy world we live in. The only thing we do not research is drama.
More people should try. More people should try to take that up in their research these days because it's incredibly. It's just everywhere. It's just everywhere you look.
It's getting worse, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I think a big thing for that is people are monetizing this stuff now, and I think when you start adding money into the equation, then it goes just downhill from there. Everybody, that's
right.
the source of it all.
You're 110% right, because I tell my wife, I tell everyone this. This is the most expensive hobby I've ever had.
Yeah.
Even my vehicles weren't this expensive because, I pay for my own equipment. All right, the podcast alone. You guys know you got to pay for the platform you're using. I use Canva to make up my posts for my podcasts and a few other things. So that all adds in to the cost. The equipment, my own gas to travel. I don't charge none of these events for speaking when I go and speak at them. And I'm speaking at some big ones this year. And what do you need to come? A place to set my canopy up and let me sell a few of my stuff that help compensate the gas. But, it costs me money. And everyone sees dollar signs out there to be this big show. No, I'm just in it for the research and figure out these mysteries. Okay, Andrew, have you ever seen a Bigfoot?
I have not. No, unfortunately.
Okay. What is your reaction going to be when you see one?
I have no idea. I like to think that I like to think that I'd be able to collect myself. It's certainly something that I'm looking for and trying to encounter. So, but I'm sure it's a much different story when that moment actually happens. And
very much so.
There it is, right in front of you.
Very much so, because I was researching and investigating, and I found prints. I was with Debbie Preggy. Me and her found prints at this farm that's local to here. Brenda Sproul and I was out at the Shenango Reservoir. We found a trackway. We found structures all over the place. And I don't put a lot of credence in the structures, except for the unexplainable ones that you can't debunk. Excuse me. But when I finally had my sighting, it will be 3 years this August. Excuse me. It was 15 feet to the right of me. I got scared. And I started a panic mode. I started a panic mode. Now, up to that time, I've been startled a few times in my life. I never got scared. I got scared. Because when I looked over and there it was leaning in looking at me, as I was knelt down trying to look down the trail and saw a little movement to the right of me out of the corner of my eye, and I turned and looked, and it's doing this number at me. It's like, and all I could think of is, get out of there. I stood up, and it was knelt down. It stood up. And that's when I start backpedaling. I was really moving backward quick. Mike Bennett and Debbie Preggy was with me, but they were like 90 paces behind me because Debbie was getting scared because we were going in 90 paces, stop, look around, listen. We had nuts or little stones coming tossed up at us from the left side.
Okay.
We went in 3 different times about 90 paces. Same thing happened the whole time. Debbie said, I'm scared. I don't want to go no farther. It was getting dark. So, all right, you stay there with Mike. I'll go down. I ain't afraid of nothing. Wrong. Yeah. So I start backpedaling. Actually, at 62 years of age, this old man ran pretty damn good backwards without falling down. You know, and I get back to him, and it's getting dark. So inside the tree, you know, with all the foliage on top, and that, it's darker inside than on the trail. And I'm yelling for lights. Finally, Mike realized what I was saying. He turned on his big spotlight, and I go, you see it, you see it. Very nonchalantly, I see Bigfoot's ass. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, what the hell did he just say? And I says, what? And he says, yeah, I was going down over the hill. I saw its rear end. He did that shock value that get my mind back on track somewhat. It did a little bit. He wanted to go follow it. I'm like, no, I'm done. Nope. And Debbie said, I ain't going. So we get back out of the trail. This was at Salt Fork State Park in Ohio. You know, one of the very hot spots, which I didn't think I'd see one there. I really didn't, because everyone goes there. And we're at the group camp area. We come out of there, and Mary Fabian was camped near us from Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project. And she was at her truck, or in her truck, and we went up to her, and Debbie says, Bill saw one. And she's looking at me, I went, yeah, right down the trail there. It was just down the trail. And we've been out together on different investigations. And she goes, Bill, you really saw one. I'm like, yeah. She's, no, you really saw one. I could tell by your actions and the way you're acting. I'm thinking, I'm acting normal. But no, I wasn't, because I was still in a panic mode. And I didn't realize that till a little bit later that evening. And people wanted to go back down in there. No. Well, the next day, several of us guys went back to where I saw that and where it stood up next to that tree. And we measured up. It was around 7 foot. I ain't going to say I can't say it was over or under. It was right around 7 foot. But I knew just the general height. It had dark brown hair, but the skin tone was darker brown. I did not look at the eyes because, all these years of being in the woods and hunting, you never stare down a predator. And I was afraid to look at the eyes. So all I can tell you, they was dark. That's all I'm going to say, because I did not look at the eyes to catch a color. I just looked down. But I did get to see the nose, and it looked like a boxer's nose from getting punched in the nose too many times. The trapezius muscles on it, you couldn't even tell it had a neck. And the muscle tone was just unreal. The hand size was unreal. And I got big hands. I really do. And those hands make mine look like a dwarf. So, but I ended up with PTSD too over it.
Oh, wow.
Not just seeing it, but being afraid. I never in my life felt fear like that. And I still have a little bit of a hard time believing I got that scared.
Well, do you think that it may have done something to cause that fear? Like maybe that was its intent? We hear a lot about no infrasound or mind speak or anything.
No, I know I've been hit with infrasound twice in my life. One time, late 90s, early 2000, I was bear hunting. And after we talked about it, and that several years later, we figured out it was infrasound. And then we were talking about it with a couple other Bigfooters, and they says, a Bigfoot did that to you. Because I'm going this way. I ended up that way 3/4 of a mile different area in the woods hunting bear. I didn't even know where I was at or how I got there. So, and the other time is the same farm me and Debbie investigate. But anyhow, I think it's with count and coup, it's called. Like the old Indians games where see how close it gets to you without you noticing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really do, because I believe it was a juvenile. It was non-aggressive. I didn't smell it. And I believe it was playing that game, truthfully. That I actually feel that way. I know they said, well, did you get a picture? Different asked. Who in the hell's thinking of taking a picture when you're startled like that? And what was I going to say? Hold it. Let me get my phone out to get a picture of you.
Pause, Sasquatch. Just wait.
Yeah, exactly. It was just crazy. And the one kid kept, when I first started talking about it online, and he kept saying I was BSing, I should have taken a picture. He's not afraid. Have you ever gone to the woods, young man? Yeah, a few times. Have you seen a bear in the woods? No. I've seen plenty. Have you probably seen deers. Yeah, I saw a couple of them. All right. Deers are more afraid of you. A bear's more afraid of you. That thing wasn't afraid of me. So, and finally, I just said, you know what? You're not even worth talking to. You really ain't. Because he kept insisting he would take a picture and I was just a chicken shit. Well, yeah, I was. I admit it. I got scared. So, but, even if I went to take a picture, I don't think I could have. Because I was shaking too much. At 15 feet away, seeing this humongous creature right there was unbelievable. My mind, it was just going totally nuts. So how would I have been able to take a picture of anything like that? Other than, oh yeah, okay, my hands over here, over there, you
Right.
know.
The classic blurry. I mean, even if you
Yeah.
had the opportunity, it would have been like, all right, Sasquatch, hold on a second. I'm going to put a filter on and let me just zoom. Let me zoom out a little bit here.
Yeah, it's, and you know, I was really getting upset. A couple other people were getting on my case for not taking pictures. It's like, you go experience what I experienced, and then tell me why you didn't take a picture.
And
Other than that, don't give me that crap.
yeah, honestly, I think that lends a lot of credence to the fact that you experienced that and that you saw what you saw, because I think too often now,
Yeah, I'd
a
almost
lot
be
of
more
these,
skeptical if you had
yeah,
photos.
like you
Mm,
clearly had this human experience that put you in this state of mind that kept you from even fathoming being able to do that. And that I think is
yeah,
a lot more of a believable experience than had, like, if you had brought pictures back, that's when I would start analyzing your photos and
yeah.
try to see
Uh,
what about
you're
it was.
right. You're right. And the thing is, I've analyzed a lot of photos people put out there. And without backup photos of, say, the very next day, same spot, about the same time, it's hard to say yes or no. But now I did see some very definitive pictures too. You know, and that's very interesting. Jay Fouch from Conshohocken area, he has put up all kind of pictures. Some are blob squatches. Some some are you can make out, but you can't really make out. But I seen some of his perfect pictures too.
I'm
And
not familiar. I'll have to check this out.
um, he is he's out there all the time. All the time. He got some great pictures. Um, and he got some, like, really? You think so? Yeah, but I don't doubt it is. But he's taking pictures 300-400 yards away, too. So, um, but yeah, people scrutinize these pictures all the time. And I do, too. I admit it. I do. Unless they got red circles on them, then I just say, goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, you almost have to in today's day and age, and AI is getting better every single day, and
Yeah.
it's just the nature of the beast that people do this for fun, you know.
Yes, and the the hoaxers can have more fun with AI now than ever before, and so I got a problem with that. Like I said to begin with, structures. Uh, I when I look at a structure, I look all around, even up, yeah, down on the ground, whatever. I'm checking it all out, and I'm determining: is it natural, animal, storm, possibly Bigfoot, possibly human? You know, I'm debunking everything before I say, oh, yeah, possibly Bigfoot. And there's a few I came right out and told the people, you're seeing the wrong thing in that structure because that's not right. What do you mean? Well, see the rotted wood all around it? Hey, look above you. What's up there? Dead half of the damn tree. All that stuff just busted off and come down and piled up right there. You know, you got that situation. Now, we found a structure down on the Indiana Cambria County line here in Pennsylvania. A girl had a sighting. on a Wednesday, and we were there Saturday. And we found a structure. Then about 50 yards away from it, there's a couple turkey feathers laying on the ground, and turkey bones just stacked on top of it neatly. And I mean, I got pictures of that in my Google Photos. And it's very weird because I never in the woods seen any animal pick a bone clean and stack the bones up very neatly. And, I never did. And I've been in the woods most of my life. A good friend of mine from down that area, he met up with us to go on this investigation. But he walked off on his own way. And then the couple people that were with me said, "Is he coming with us?" I said, "I just let him go. He knows this area very, very well. He grew up here." So we got kind of separated. Pretty soon I get a phone call. And he goes, "You got to come here." Well, okay. Where are you? Where are you? He says, "About where that thing she saw come up over the hill." He says, "There's something weird right here." I says, "Okay, what can be weird?" And the other one says, "You want us to go along?" I says, "No, you know what? There's a power line about 75 yards that way. Check this area out. Get out to the power line. I'll meet you there because I ain't going to be gone that long because it's hard to say with him." I get over there, and I can't find him. Finally, I yelled at Micah, "Where are you?" Micah goes, "I'm over here." I turn and look, and he's up over this way just a little bit. So I walk up that way. He says, "Look, there's a damn nest." And it was huge. I went, "Whoa." And got some nice pictures of it. And I was showing that to a few other people, and they said, "Oh, that was human made as a blind." I says, "Take a look at the size of those logs that are in there. There ain't no way that was human made." I'm talking 3 foot around by 6 foot long that help make the big circumference. Then you have the smaller branches and trees mixed in and woven in. And it's like, wow, I have never in my life seen a nest. I saw pictures that people have taken. I've heard descriptions. Man, I got a bunch of pictures. And I said, "Micah, I'm going back to catch up to these other guys." He says, "Well, I got to get going because he belonged to the fire department and they had something special happening." I says, "All right, man." I says, "Call me tomorrow." I go back and meet up with them. I start showing them the pictures. "And you didn't let us go with you?" I went, "I'm sorry." But I can't explain why they built that nest. It was close to the road, but it was up on the hillside where you couldn't see it at the road.
Right.
And it's a state highway that went through there. And it's right near where she saw the Bigfoot walking up the bank, going up over toward that nest. Now, there was 3 different power lines that went down. They had 2 power plants down over the hill by the river. So you had 3 different ways these power lines are running. So do I know which way this Bigfoot went? No. I didn't really find any tracks. And believe me, once I got back to those other ones, we started checking the power lines for any kind of prints. Couldn't find any. So don't know which way it went or where it went, unless it might have went down toward the river, which is a good possibility. Different breaks we've seen in trees, breaks and twists. And I pointed out to the two newbies that were with us, and I says, "Tell me about this twist and break." And they're looking at it. They went, "We think Bigfoot did it." I went, "Really? Tell me why." They go, "The way it's twisted and that no human could do it." I said, "Take a look at the center of that break." And they went, "Oh, it was rotted in the center." I said, that was no animal or Bigfoot. I said, "That's a natural break from wind." About 25, 30 yards on away from it, that what twists and break was totally until it was done green. And it's about inch and a half round. And it's like, you guys tell me. And they're looking, well, there's no rot. And they're looking above. I don't think, could have been a snow load. I went, I don't know about that. I said, this is a possible. And they went, that's what we were thinking, but we didn't want to say. I went, you should have said it. I said, I would have pointed out if I thought you was wrong. I said, but then again, I can be wrong. I said, because I'm no expert. I just, from everything I learned. And so, those things makes you wonder, like, where did they go? Why is there no prints? Well, the ground was pretty solid and rocky, even though it was in the woods. The vegetation wasn't thick inside once you got inside the wood line. Now, along the power line, you had that bamboo brush. So, things could be hiding in that. Couldn't tell because everything was too green. So that was very interesting. It's just all the different things that are out there that you see and find. All these little pieces of the puzzle. And everyone's saying about DNA. I was on that kick before I saw the one I saw, just to prove that they're there. All right. I don't need that proof now. Now I want to know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and why they're doing it.
I think that too often people are looking for that body, that DNA, that fur, and then really what that leads to is a bunch of misidentified information that comes back as data because people are looking for that in a spot where it might not exist, and the next thing you know, you have a club of deer or bear fur that you're bringing in, and you're claiming it's something that was Sasquatch related, and then you look silly.
Well, there's going to be some new breakthroughs coming through with this. Darby Orcutt, he has gotten different scientists, professors, all on board for the research, the DNA, the whole 9 yards. He actually got them on board to work together to work this all out. I don't know how in the hell that man did it, because people have been trying for years to get all these scientists and professors to work together, and they won't do it. He's doing it. So I believe we're going to get some nice breakthroughs. And different scientists that does work with the public get the stuff sent to them. They don't send it back to the people. Darby's going to send the samples back once they do all the testing. You get to keep your own samples. And so no one can say, well, yeah, we found this, and it's actually yours. So I got a lot of faith in Darby getting some breakthrough stuff out there.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Hopefully that it,
Yeah.
that it's expedited and starts to get out there sooner rather than later with that kind of cooperation.
Yes, and finally, after all these years, we're getting this cooperation. And I finally get to meet Darby next month at the Ohio Bigfoot Conference. And I'm going to try to pick his brain a little bit.
Where is the Ohio Bigfoot Conference?
Salt Fork State Park down in Ohio at Cambridge, Ohio. Directly south of you, south of Canton.
No, that's too south.
Oh,
We're
don't
pushing-
even try.
We're pushing West Virginia borders here.
Not quite.
JC
What-
only drives within 6 blocks of his house.
Yeah, if it's what is the date of that, by the way?
May 4th.
May 4th, okay.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a good day for it.
Maybe the 4th will get me down there, but it's outside of my 6-block radius, so
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to have a table set up as a vendor, so I can get more reports over that way. Come down and say hi.
means I have to drive.
Oh, jeez, oh man. Andrew, help me out here.
It
all
might
you,
be a
Andrew.
tough one because we have an excursion planned for later on in that month to go to Parapsychon.
Okay, so Salt Fork's out by about Zanesville, Cambridge, Wheeling. Yeah, we're going to Parapsychon. Is that it's not the same weekend, is it?
No, I think it's the
No.
24th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I was going to go to that, but with my wife and everything going on, I just can't. And next weekend, we actually have a planned camp out that I put on every year at Salt Fork at the group camp area. And last year we made it a multi-group camp out. And because I invite everybody, I don't care. Don't have an ego, leave it out at the gate. Don't have an attitude, leave it out at the gate. We're all here to socialize, maybe do some research, learn techniques from each other. And that's what it was all about. Plus, it was right where I had my sighting. So that had a sweet thing for me. Well, it's still a multi-group camp out the 25th through the 28th. But I'm not going to be there because of my wife. Ohio Bigfoot Researchers, the Buckeye Cryptid, whatever Josh Ensley's name of his group is. I believe Monroe County Bigfoot enthusiasts will be there. Got Knockers will be there. And some of Sotheby's people will be there. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be at it because of that. And I'm going to miss out because I really enjoy that camp out there.
Yeah, that
But
sounds like a really good time with all of those groups and researchers.
It is.
kind of-
It is. And it's a great group of people that come every year, too. There's always a great group that comes, and it's awesome to have them there. And you got different ones that come in, too. And I've learned a few new techniques from these people, and it helped. I'm not going to deny that. You can still teach an old dog new tricks. And it helped. I got a lot of different things from growing up in the woods and hunting and how to research things in the woods, how to track and the whole 9 yards. But I'm willing to try new stuff. And you know, we haven't stopped trying to figure this thing out from forever now. You know, and so I'm willing to try anything.
Well, I
No,
believe it was what 2018 that you had your sighting. When did you start Agents of
no,
the Unexplained? No.
no. It'll be 3 years this August.
Oh, okay, so like 2020,
Mm.
2021.
Yeah.
When did you start Agents of the Unexplained and start to actually do research and do all this boots on the ground
I,
stuff?
I've been doing boots on the ground before I started Agents. Um, Bigfoot is my passion, but I'm into the paranormal and the UFOs also. I've seen a ghost. I've seen a UFO when I was 14. So all that stuff intrigues me, from the cryptid to the paranormal to UFOs. And no, I will not say UAPs.
Yeah, me either.
UAP.
Nah.
What kind of UFO experience did you have? Because
Yeah, tell us about when you were
that's
14.
that's my thing.
No, here.
I'm a witness.
Yeah, please
Uh,
talk about it so I don't have to hear his story for the 20,000th time.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me your story. And no,
No,
are you coming to Salt Fork to see me?
it's an hour and a half. I'll be there. I'll see you.
He's lying. You know that.
I don't lie. Not on camera.
But no, truthfully, I was 14. It was a beautiful spring morning, and we're out at the school bus or waiting on the school bus, and I look up over the hill. I see this thing just hovering up there. I'm going to say it's 3/4 of a mile away from me, and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking on. Hey guys, that's a UFO. And they all start looking, and we're talking back. Finally, I run back into the house. My mom's at the kitchen sink doing the breakfast dishes from us kids. And I go, Mom, up over Quad's house, there's a UFO. And she's looking, and then she's doing this. And she turned around, dead serious look on her face, and says, don't say nothing to nobody. And I mean nobody. I went, whoa, okay. 51 years ago, you didn't backtalk. You listened. I go back up. We're still talking amongst ourselves. And I told them what my mom said. They said, oh, we ain't saying nothing. We ain't having Jane whip our ass. Because my mom would have. And the neighbors all knew it because she didn't put up with no shenanigans from none of us. And their parents gave my mom permission. They act up, crack their ass, and she would have. So 2 days later, it was on the news, the local news, channel 21, I think it was, Youngstown News. And then it was in the Newcastle newspaper, the Newcastle News, it was called. And then you hear people talking about this guy taking that picture. Said he's crazy. He's made it up. He threw a trash can lid up in the air and took a picture of it. And I'm thinking, there ain't no way in hell that was a trash can lid I saw. Not at 14 years old. Because it was around this shape. I mean, it's kind of big. But, metallic looking. And I'm still kind of in awe from seeing that thing. And it was kind of weird because he got ridiculed so bad. He said, I'll never share nothing again. And I looked at him and I says, but I saw it. And I know you saw what you saw. He said, don't you say a word to anybody because you're not going to get ridiculed like I have. He says, I can take it. These people can stay the hell away from me. Oh, okay, sir. Whatever. Even he said, keep my mouth shut. So for years I did. And
That seemed to be the
Yeah.
the protocol, 60s, 70s era UFO sightings. Like everybody
yep,
that
I
we've
mean,
talked to from that
my
era.
mom saw that UFO when she was 16, and my grandfather, her dad, said if you talk about this, it will ruin the family. And that was late
And-
70s, so almost 80s.
yeah. And this was early 70s. 73, 74 when I saw it. So, it was weird because it was hovering there and all of a sudden it was gone. Like, where did it go? Yeah. Of course, I was talking to the neighbor kids out as they were watching it too. And I turn and look at them, say something, look back, and it's not there. It's like, where'd it go? So I don't know how it took off or how fast it took off. It had been pretty fast, but which direction? Some people says that you see it right here, and all of a sudden it's way over there. And it's like, I never saw that, so I don't know.
But you said you were at the bus stop. Do you have any idea kind of what geographically it might have been hovering over at that time when you saw it?
It could have been the river, because the Shenango and the Mahoning River forms the Beaver River, and where it was at is probably over the Beaver River, because the Shenango and Mahoning, if you go directly behind our old house there, is where it met. Yeah, to form the Beaver. And that was a running joke. We had three rivers too, just like Pittsburgh, but we're not famous. So it could have been closely over the river. Trains ran down through that area too. But Quat's house is up on the hill. Yeah. But it was to the left of Quat's house. So I don't know. I don't exactly the way it was hovering over. I don't know.
Was
That
that
was
the
a
only
lot
time?
of wood there.
Was that the only time that you had seen the UFO, or you'd seen it since then?
I saw two orange spheres as we're coming out of church, like that year or the following year. I can't remember. And we're all standing on the church steps. The preacher, his wife, and a couple of his kids, my dad and mom, me and my brother and sister. And these two large orange spheres shooting across the sky, going straight. And they had a tail behind it. And it was weird because they were moving quick. And it's like, is that a meteor? And my dad says, if it is, the ground's going to shake real hard.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, this guy's running down the street. Did you guys see those two orange balls in the air? My dad said, yeah, that way. Keep going after them. Get them out. And my dad and the preacher both said, don't say nothing to anyone about it. Okay. We got to keep our mouth shut on this style. But yeah, so that's the only UFO type experience I've had. I've taken reports on them. We actually, a year and a half ago, it was near Christmas time, we had a UFO right over here above the Shenango River. And 3 different people seen it from 3 different angles that admitted that they seen it. I didn't get to see it. I was told after the fact, and I started inquiring. And one guy I do know, and he ain't gonna BS about it. This other lady, she posted pictures of it on her Facebook page, and people start criticizing her. And then a guy on this other side of town saw it, and they all described it the same way. So I filed a report with MUFON about it. I kind of screwed up and I was told about it, and they contacted me. I should have filed them 3 separate reports, not as 3 as 1. And so we had to straighten that out. And one of the national directors got a hold of me for that and talked to me about it. And I said, from now on, I'll make sure it's the right way. Thank you. I'm sorry. But yeah, so yeah, I know they're out there. Yeah, plain and simple, they're out there. And we're not the only intelligent life form. Ghosts? Yeah, it's all ghosts.
I'm interested to hear about that too. We cover it all.
My wife and I bought this house actually down over the hill from where we're at now. It's a real small house. And 2-bedroom. We figured this little place is just good for me and her. We don't have a bunch of family living with us because we had our other daughter and her kids and that in the house we had on the other side of town here. So we let them have that, and we bought this little place down there. One night, and I was working 10-hour days and driving an hour each way to work, doing construction. And working 6 days a week. So I'm worn out 12 hours. Yeah, might as say 12-hour days. And I'm asleep. My wife comes in from going to the bathroom and she goes, "Who's that little girl playing with your hair?" What did you say? "Who's that little girl playing with your hair?" I went, "There ain't no little girl here." I'm looking around. I says, "You're dreaming." She says, "I just walked in from the bathroom. I'm not dreaming. There was a little girl there." Get your butt back in bed to go back to sleep. I was like, I ain't seeing nothing. About 3 days later, I bought a brand new gas grill. And it's cold outside, so I'm not putting it together outside. I bought it in a box instead of buying it already put together. I'll never do that again. But I'm in the kitchen, and our daughter Mary was visiting. They were in her and Beth was in the living room, and I'm working, and I looked off to the side. The little girl was right there. I couldn't actually see her face, but she had brown hair down below her shoulders. She had a little pinkish white dress on. I stood up. I went in the other room. And I go, "She's here." My wife says, "Who?" "Mary's right here." And I said, "No, that little girl. Kitchen." Excuse me. And she goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I should go down to the bar, which is only a few doors down, and get a drink to calm down a little bit because she kind of startled me." And my daughter goes, "I'll go with you." I said, "No, I ain't going. I got that gas grill to put together." I go back out in the kitchen. I'm looking around. She's not there. And I go, "You're allowed to hang around. You're allowed to be here as long as you don't cause no problems. I don't care. You're safe here." Never saw her again. My wife or I, we never saw her again. So
Maybe she was there to cause problems then.
I don't think.
Um,
I don't think. And I tried to find out some history about her. If a little girl lived there that died or anything, and could not find anything out. So I don't know. She was attached to something that came to the house or what. But as far as I know, she's still at that house. The one neighbor guy bought it for his daughter. She didn't want to move in there. He fixed it up and just uses it for storage to this
Oh,
day.
She spooked.
Yeah. So, I'd like to have her around here. I'm weird that way because our 3 grandkids live with us, and I know they're safe. And she's a little girl. And I know she'd be safe here.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the way I
Yes.
feel. She'll be safe here.
Nurturing environment.
Yep. Yeah. Unless it's Hunter, my 6-year-old grandson, then he'd be doing this.
Teach them the worst, the best, right?
Yeah. He's my buddy. And when he's in a good mood, he does that to me. He's in a bad mood. Don't look at me. Okay. But yeah, so I've had a lot of different experiences in all these years, and I had a premonition dream where a good friend of the family's son got ran over by a truck. And I'd come down to breakfast that morning. I go to my mom. I go, "Did Timmy get run over by a truck last night?" She went, "No." I would have known something because they would have got a hold of us right away. Well, we get up the next morning, come down to breakfast. Mom says, "I got to talk to you guys." Okay. So my brother, sister, and I sitting there. She goes, "Timmy got ran over by a truck last night." And I'm just like, "What?" And I start freaking out. And for 3 nights in a row, I could not go to sleep, worrying that I'm going to have a dream about somebody else I know, care about. Something's going to happen to them.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I was 14 years old, and that was freaking me out. And finally, I told myself, "You're not going to dream nothing. You're not dreaming. If you're going to dream anything, you're not going to remember." And I kept saying that to myself. Finally, I fell asleep. I only remembered maybe 4 dreams since then.
Oh, wow.
And I've talked to a few psychics and a few empaths, and they told me I actually did block out the premonitions, but I can open it up with the third eye. I got to clear my mind, and start opening it up again. Well, I'm working at it. I just pray God that I don't see anything bad.
Yeah, I mean, with that original experience, I definitely see that being a huge
That's rough.
concern.
And that's what I told the one empath. I said, "I'm not an empath." I don't know why. She says, "You got the abilities, but you're blocking it out." Okay, yeah, I guess I am. Okay, I guess I am. It's kind of crazy, but yeah. But she's right, because I did have that premonition dream.
Yeah, and then just a day later, like that wasn't even something that you had a week to sit on. That was pretty immediate.
Yeah, it was, and I think that's what really blew my mind. And it really, it did bother me. Even after I was able to get sleep, it bothered me for the longest time. Um, it was just a sad thing, yeah, but it did happen, and I knew it was going to happen. So, and what I've been able to change him from riding his bike and getting run over, I don't think I'm supposed to. Um,
It was already on that course. It wasn't your responsibility, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Uh, yeah.
I mean, even if you could go back and change it, that's not the course that it was supposed to be on. You're injecting in that course.
Yes.
You almost get like that final destination scenario
Yeah.
where if you were able to do something
Uh,
equally terrible could have happened immediately after.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I think that's the thing that really bothers me too about the whole situation like that. All right, you know this is going to happen. You want to change it, but what catastrophic event going to follow that?
Yeah, the butterfly
Yeah.
effect can just
Yep.
change the entire world.
I'm putting this in what we're going to do with our president. No.
But you know what? That hour just went right by.
Flew by.
This was
Yes, it
fun.
did.
I appreciate you coming on. Why at the last couple of minutes here? Why don't you let everybody know where they can find you? And I know that you just had a successful conference and are planning
Yeah.
to do another one. So if you want to talk about that for a minute, feel free.
Oh, yeah.
Salt Fork State Park.
No, my successful conferences, the second one I put on was March 29th. No, March 30th this year. The second one, and day before Easter, and I'm thinking, oh man, this ain't gonna go over good. My attendance was down very little. It still was very successful, so I was very happy. It's called the Penn Ohio Paranormal Conference. But it covers everything, the cryptids, the paranormals. And I'm actually moving the event to a bigger event center 6 miles west, which we were in Hermitage, Pennsylvania. We're going to be in Brookfield, Ohio.
Okay.
And I'm going to start advertising it as Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, West Virginia, largest paranormal cryptid conference. It's still going to be the Penn Ohio Paranormal, but it's going to be the largest for this tri-state area. And we're going to probably have around 100 to 150 vendors.
Wow.
We're still going to have 5 speakers. The speakers room going to have 300 seats. So I'm really going to be promoting the heck out of it. And it's going to be March 29th next year at Tiffany Banquet Center in Brookfield, Ohio. You can get a hold of me on the Agents of the Unexplained group page or my Bill Rigby Facebook page. We got our podcast. It's on YouTube and Facebook, the group page, of course. Or you can get agentsoftheunexplained.net is our website. We got a reporting forum area if you want to report some of your weird or paranormal or cryptid experiences. I take it all, except drama.
So it's
everything I can give. So anyone not familiar with the area, the Brookfield, Ohio area is about 6 minutes west of Hermitage. It's about 10 miles northeast of Youngstown, Ohio. So it's like on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. almost
Actually, my house is 3 doors down
from the border.
from Ohio. Yes. State Line Road is right there,
Yeah.
And actually, Tiffany's a little closer to me. It's like 2 miles from me, where up there where we had it in Hermitage was 4 miles from me. So,
Gotcha.
so it's a little closer for me.
Yeah. Well, it's a good intersection point for all kinds of paranormal talk, Bigfoot, alien, anything paranormal, right?
Anything.
And I'm the whole way up here in Cleveland. It's not even that far for me. It's like an
No,
hour,
it's not.
15
An hour.
minutes. Yeah.
It's about an hour. Euclid's about an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will be up at Forest County, Pennsylvania Bigfoot Festival. I'll be speaking there this year. I'm going to be down in Fayette County at the Patsy Hillman event there. I'll be speaking there. Actually, I'm going to be speaking 6 different times this year. And I said I wasn't going to speak so many times. I never learned to say no. And actually, I'm very excited. The Mercer County, Pennsylvania Historical Society asked me to speak to them about Bigfoot and the paranormal. So
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And that's in the 3rd week in August. The first weekend in August 3rd, I'm going to be in Ellisburg, Pennsylvania for the Central PA Bigfoot Cryptid Fest. That gets over 5,000 people.
Wow.
Forest County gets over 10,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm going to be speaking to these people. Whoa. It's not like speaking in a podcast. You know, there's a bunch of people watching, but you don't see them.
I'll throw an empty tomato soup can up at you.
Gee, thanks, brother.
Keep you grounded.
Yeah. I'm going to be down in Newcastle. You got the Haunted Hillview Manor. I'm going to be talking at HillCon in August too. So that's going to be very, very interesting.
Busy.
Very honored they asked me to come and speak. Yeah. And it's local, so I don't have to drive far.
Always a plus.
Yes. But guys, thank you very much. I'm glad we're able to do it. You guys stay safe, stay squatchy, and keep JC out of trouble.
Oh, come on.
It's a near impossible task.
I just exist. I'm just existing.
That 6-block radius around his house. It's just
I don't even go outside.
You do look pasty. No.
That's my Irish skin. I will have you know.
I'm sorry, JC. I couldn't resist. That was wide open. Okay, Seamus.
All right. That's almost a compliment for him.
Yeah, kind of, actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's back.
Where's my shillelagh?
It's the wrong Irish wrestler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Play our outro, Drew.
Okay, everybody. Thank you to Bill for joining us. Definitely check out Agents of the Unexplained and seek out some of those speaking events that he's doing. I know that some of them are in my neck of the woods, so we might be seeing each other. And
awesome.
In the meantime, new era. I want everybody to enjoy the new outro for the show, and we will see you next time.